Imagine a nation divided against itself, brother fighting brother, families torn apart by conflicting ideals, and a landscape fractured by war. Between 1861 and 1865, the United States experienced its deadliest conflict, the American Civil War, a struggle that would define the soul of the nation. The atmosphere was thick with tension, as young men from every corner of the country prepared for a fight they hoped would be short. During the mid-1800s, the United States was expanding rapidly, adding new territories and dreaming of a continental empire from sea to shining sea. Yet beneath this growth lay a deep and festering conflict over slavery, an institution that the North increasingly opposed and the South desperately defended. In the halls of Congress, debates turned into shouting matches. Newspapers across the country fueled the fire of sectionalism and distrust. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected president. His victory, representing the anti-slavery Republican Party, triggered immediate fears and outrage across the South. For many Southern leaders, Lincoln's election was the final straw. They believed their way of life and their economy were under direct threat. Southern states began leaving the Union, one by one, and together they formed the Confederate States of America, creating a new government and flag. The breaking point came at Fort Sumter in Charleston Harbor. When Confederate forces opened fire, the time for compromise had officially ended. The Civil War introduced new technologies like ironclad ships, rifled muskets, and the telegraph, which made warfare more deadly and immediate than ever before. On the battlefield, soldiers faced horrific conditions. They marched through mud, slept in the cold, and endured the constant threat of disease and combat. In July 1863, the Battle of Gettysburg became the bloodiest battle of the war. It was a 3-day struggle that decided the fate of the North. The fields were littered with the fallen. The scale of the loss was unimaginable, forcing the nation to confront the true cost of its survival. In 1863, Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that all persons held as slaves within the rebellious states shall be forever free. This changed the purpose of the war. It was no longer just about preserving the Union. It was now a crusade for human liberty. Thousands of African Americans joined the fight, forming the United States Colored Troops and proving their bravery on the front lines of freedom. Union victories at Gettysburg and Vicksburg shifted the momentum of the war. General Ulysses S. Grant began a relentless push toward the Confederate capital. By 1865, the Confederacy was exhausted. At Appomattox Courthouse, Robert E. Lee surrendered his army, signaling the end of the long nightmare. The war had ended, but the nation's challenges were only beginning. The South lay in ruins, and the task of reconstruction loomed ahead. Just days after the victory, the nation was plunged into mourning again, as Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, leaving a leadership vacuum at a critical moment. The Civil War preserved the United States and ended slavery, but its legacy continues to shape the nation today, reminding us of the cost of freedom. Over 600,000 lives were lost, but from the ashes of conflict, a more perfect union began to emerge, forever changed by the fire of war.